All right. Hey guys, this is going to be day 2 of qualitative graphs. So we're going to kind of go over these a little bit more. Hopefully I can answer any more questions that you have. And then I'm going to review a little bit because we do have a test coming up on Friday on module 5. So just as a quick refresher, we do have that test coming up this Friday. All right, so as a quick little warm-up, I have a graph here. It says describe the change in temperature over time. So basically I'm saying as time goes by, what's happening to the temperature? Okay, so as the time keeps getting, as the time keeps going by, maybe it starts at like 8 a.m., 9 a.m., 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, something like that. What's happening to the temperature? Okay, so it looks like the temperature starts here. Okay, and it slowly, it's going up. It's not a straight line. So I would say it's increasing at a varied rate. So that's how you would describe that. So it's increasing at a varied rate. I would say maybe it like reaches a peak temperature. So it reaches the high, and then it starts decreasing after that at a varied rate. Okay, since it's not linear, it's not a constant rate. So I would say it decreases at a varied rate in the second part here. So if I was describing the two parts, like this would be section 1 of the graph, it's increasing, and then section 2 of the graph would be here, it's decreasing at a varied rate. This is also a nonlinear, okay, because it's not a straight line. It also is a function. It does pass the vertical line test, so it's a nonlinear function. All right, since we did not do this yesterday, I want you to open your math notebook right now, and we want to take some notes. Again, you do have your test on Friday, so you definitely want these down. You can use this on your test. So if you don't write this, that's kind of on you. So I would make a big title that says 5-6 or 5.6 qualitative graphs. So open to your notebook. Again, pause this whenever you need to. First thing I would do is draw the 5 pictures that they have there. Okay, so I would draw exactly kind of what they have. Okay, number 1, I would draw that sketch, and I would put the words, it increases at a constant rate. Okay, then I would draw a sketch 2 and say it decreases at a constant rate. I would draw a graph 3 that there's no change. Okay, it's staying the same. Okay, something like that for graph 3. Then I would draw a sketch of graph 4 where it's a curve and it's increasing at a varied rate. And then step 5, or graph 5, it's decreasing at a varied rate. So you're going to want to definitely pause the video and draw those 5 sketches in your notes so you have them for the test on Friday. And so it helps you when you're doing your homework today. Once you have that copied down, you can push play and we'll keep going. All right, so I have a little problem here. It says Dustin started slowly walking to school. Okay, when I'm doing these types of problems, I like to kind of, underline or highlight the parts. He's slowly walking to school. Okay, and then he continued to increase the speed at which he walked. So he started slowly, and then it looks like he increased the speed at which he's walking until he finally made it to his school. Okay, so it says which graph best represents the situation? All right, so if I kind of just think about this, it never says that he stops. It never says that he decreases. So if I'm looking at my graph, it should be going up the whole time because he's walking to school and he keeps walking. He never stops, never takes a break. So if I'm looking at graph B, I think I can eliminate that one because right here it shows he's not getting his distance any further. So it's like he must have took a little break there. Can't be that one. Okay, if I look at graph D, it looks like, he's getting closer to, he's going away from his house, right? Because this is his distance from his house. But then if he goes back down, he's going back towards his house. And then he must take like a break. So that clearly is not that one either. Okay, and now I have graph A and C. So if I was trying to decide between those two, which one do you think it would be and why? Just pause and think about that for a sec. All right, so a key word in this one is that he increases his speed. So it has to get a little steeper. So I would say like this one, okay, so he slowly is walking towards school. This is going up at kind of a slow rate to start with, right? And he's, going further and further away from home. And then it looks like he increases his speed. So now here, this looks like an increase in speed. He's going a little bit faster here. and then he finally gets to school. So I would say C is probably the best graph. All right, let's try another one where I have 3 situations and I have 3 graphs. Can you match all 3 of them up with which graph you think they go to? So I have situation 1, 2, and 3. So I want you to pause the video and try those out. All right, so let's look at the graphs first of all. Each of them shows as time goes by and the distance that she travels from home. So as the graph's going up, she's getting further and further from home. So same thing here, she's getting further and further from home at a pretty constant rate. I would say both of those. Okay, then here, in both of these, it looks like she's not getting further from home. The time keeps going by, so as time keeps going by, it looks like she took a break in both of them. And then it looks like, if this is the distance from home, as you go up, it gets further away. As you go down, she has to be getting closer to home. It's getting less and less distance, so it looks like then she goes home. So these 2 graphs are pretty close. This one definitely looks a lot different. So let's just kind of look and see which one we think goes with which. Okay, with those 2. I'm going to start on graph number 2. It says Sandy jogged from her home to the bus stop at a constant rate. Okay, so she's going at a constant rate. She stopped to wait for the bus, so it's going to have a flat line somewhere. And then she realized that she had missed the bus, so she walked home at a constant rate. Okay, well, obviously it's one of those 2, okay, because she stopped for a break. Let's read the other one. Sandy walked to the store at a constant rate. Okay, so she's walking. Now, here's the difference. This first one, she's jogging. This one, she's walking. So jogging, you would be going faster. So this should be a steeper line, I would say. Okay, and then it says she shopped at a store for a short while. So there's the break. And then she walked home at a constant rate. Okay, so both of the second parts, she walked home at a constant rate. So the only difference is on this one, she jogged. So I would say that would need to go with A because she's getting away from home a lot quicker than in this one, right? It took her longer. You guys can see over here on the time. It took her longer to get this far, right? There's the time. More seconds went by than here. I only went a short times of minutes over to get that far. So I would say number 2 matches with graph A, and this would be graph B. So finally, let's just read about graph C. It says Sandy walked home at a constant rate from the store. So she was already at the store and she is walking home. So let's see what this says, distance from home. Well, if I'm here, that means she's already not at home. She's already like 5 miles from home. Okay, and she's getting closer and closer to home because this is the distance over here. It's going down, so her distance from home is going down. So she's getting closer and closer until she gets home, and this shows a constant rate the whole time. So graph C. All right, so this next one is where you actually have to sketch a graph of the situation. So now you're sketching a graph to represent the situation. And then it says determine is your graph linear or nonlinear. Okay, and then where is it increasing and where is it decreasing? All right, you will have one of these on your test on Friday. So let's see if we can do these. So I'll kind of work with you on this one. So it says a car is stopped at a red light. When the light turns green, it speeds up steadily. So right away it stops. It stopped. It speeds up steadily. Then the car travels at a constant speed for a period of time. Okay, I'm going to try to highlight some of this. So right away it's speeding up steadily. Okay, second thing that happens is it travels at a constant speed for a period of time. And then third thing, then it slows down steadily to come to rest at another stoplight. So we want to try to draw a sketch of this. Okay, now first thing we have to decide is what are we going to label our X and Y axis? Okay, it looks like this is going to have to be, oops, I shouldn't do this in pencil actually. This is going to be time. As time goes by, we're looking at the car's speed. So you kind of first have to decide that. There's 2 things it's talking about, the time and the speed. So right away, it stopped at a red light. So its speed is 0, right? Here would be a speed of 0. Okay, so speed is 0. As the light turns green, it speeds up steadily. So steadily would be like at a constant rate. So it's going to speed up, speed up, speed up. It doesn't tell us how fast. Okay, then it travels at a constant speed for a period of time. So now it's at its speed. It's going to go at a constant speed. So the speed is staying exactly the same. So maybe it's like 30 miles per hour. just an example, it's staying at that constant speed. Then it's coming to another red light. It starts to slow down. So now the speed, remember the speed is the up and down here, right? Now it's slowing down until it comes to a stop. So that means I got to get all the way back down here to the speed of 0 again. So that would be a good picture of the graph. So hopefully you could do one of those. So let's try another one on the next slide. All right, I forgot one part of this one before we go to the next slide. Is your graph linear or nonlinear? Well, it is definitely nonlinear. It's not a straight line the whole time. And then where is it increasing and decreasing? Okay, I'm just going to highlight in green. There it's increasing. And this pink part, that's where it's decreasing. All right, let's have you try to see if you can do a graph without my help. So pause the video and try this one. All right, so Kamani went jogging to get exercise. It says she jogged 2 miles at a constant rate in 15 minutes. Then it says she stopped 5 minutes for a break. Then she jogged another mile at a varied rate in 10 minutes. So this one actually has numbers that we are going to be labeling on our graph. All right, so the first thing that you have to decide is what are your labels on the side. So it looks like it's minutes as time goes by. And over here, it's how many miles she jogged. Okay, so when you're working with graphs, I'll tell you like almost every single time is going to go on the bottom. Okay, now this one actually has numbers, so I'm going to try to put some numbers on my graph. So it says she's jogging 2 miles in 15 minutes, and then another 10 minutes, 5 minutes. So I think I'm going to count by fives because I see like 5, 10, 15 for my minutes. So here's 0. I'll go 5, 10, 15. I might have to go over further, 20, 25, 30. Now this would be easier if I actually had a real graph, but we'll just have to kind of estimate. And then the miles, I see like 2 miles. She jogged another mile. So I'm just going to do like, I'll just count by 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll go up to 5 miles. Okay. So she went jogging. Obviously, after 0 minutes, she didn't go anywhere. So I'll just put my point kind of there to start with. Now, she's jogging 2 miles. She's only going to go 2 miles. So she's going to get up to here, right? 2 miles is right here. And that's going to take her 15 minutes. So that means I need to go over to my 15 minutes of time. So I'm going to try to highlight this for you guys. So I got to get over to here, 15 minutes, and she's got to get up to 2 miles. Okay, so 15 minutes to jog 2 miles, and she's going at a constant rate, so that's a straight line. Okay, so there I did that first part. Now it says she stopped for a 5-minute break. So, you know, that took her 15 minutes. Another 5 minutes from there would get her to 20. To get her to 20. And she took a break. She's not traveling any miles. So her miles should not be going up or down here. They should be staying the same for 5 minutes. Okay, and then the last part says now she jogged another mile at a varied rate. So that means it's going to be a curve. And it took her 10 minutes. Okay, so for this last part, it's going to take her 10 minutes. So she's at 20 minutes. It's going to take her up to 30 minutes. So the graph's going to end here. And she goes another mile. So she was at 2 miles, right? You can kind of see she was at 2 miles. She's going to go up another mile. So she's got to get up to 3. So I'm just kind of coming over here, putting a little point here. And it's at a varied rate. So it's not a straight line. So I would just make it kind of like a curve there. And there you go. There is your graph. All right, so your homework now is going to be a worksheet that Miss Jakes has for you guys. So you're going to get that from her. Hopefully she maybe already handed it out, but you're going to try that worksheet. I'm going to do the first one with you so you kind of know what I'm asking for. So you're going to practice these. I also left an answer key with her that you can check. So I'll have her print a couple copies so you can kind of see the correct answers if you get stuck. So let's go ahead and try the first one if you can grab that sheet. All right, so your worksheet kind of looks like this. So let's go ahead and look at the first one so you know what it is asking for. So on the whole front side, it basically says, describe the change in whatever you're working with. Describe the change. So basically, here's what you're doing on the front side of the worksheet. There are lots of sections on every graph. Basically, you're telling me what every section stands for. Like what happened there. That's one part of the graph. What happened here. It's It's basically like you're telling me a story, what's happening, what happened here in that green part, and what happened here in that yellow part. Some people even like to, I don't even mind if you would do this, if you would number each part like 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you would describe what happened in each of those 4 sections. That's perfectly fine. And you would do that on all of the graphs. So this one says, describe the change in volume over time. We're working with cement in a cement mixer. And it says it's unloading over time. So here's how much is in the cement mixer on this up and down. Okay, and here's as time goes by. So it looks like to start with, after 0 seconds here, looks like there's however much there's a bunch in the cement mixer. Okay, and it looks like it slowly at a constant rate is unloading, right? The volume's going down. So for part 1, it's slowly at a constant rate decreasing. Okay, so that volume is going down. Okay, then in this second part, it looks like it's going down a little faster. It's steeper. So it's decreasing a little faster. Still at a constant rate because it's a straight line. Okay. And then part 3, nothing is changing. The volume is staying the exact same, right? It's not going up. It's not going down. Again, I'm always looking at this part. So here, the volume stays the same. Or basically how much like cement is in there stays the same. So it stops. Maybe it stops for a break or something like that. Okay. And then in graph 4, now it looks like it's unloading for like a period of time. Okay. It's slowly, or it's got a constant rate. So now it's decreasing at a constant rate until it's all the way empty. So when it gets to here, now it's empty until it empties. That's how I would describe that graph. Okay, so now you guys are going to practice some. So here's what I want you to do. On the front, I want you to pick 2 to try. So any 2 that are left, not the one we did, okay? And then on the back, you have 2 more to do, okay? So do the back 2. So basically, you're doing 4 problems. 2 on the front, 2 on the back. You can choose which 2 you try in the front. Then I want you to grab an answer key from Miss Jakes so you can check them. If you have questions, please come in the class kick.